Oh, we're live!
Hey.
Camera.
Okay.
What if it wasn't? What if I wasn't on a high chair? I would look how small I would look.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
It's tricky, you really need a custom chair, I think. So it's a level playing field,
Yeah. Okay. That's true. Well, maybe I'll get one. Wait a minute.
You're farthest away too, so maybe it evens out a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. It's like Lord of the Rings in there,
What do you mean, Lord of the Rings?
What are you talking about?
I was this close to playing along, but I don't
know. No, that's okay. You know how Peter Jackson in the Lord of the Rings movies would have the people do scenes together where, like, the Hobbit people would actually be standing like 5 feet behind, like, Gandalf the Wizard or something. Ian McKellen, they call him.
Interesting.
So he's like, you hobbits, but actually they're like way back
Oh,
there.
wow.
Yeah.
That's such a basic level trick, all the CGI and just
all the
standing
CGI
farther
in
away.
the world. Yeah.
If you had said that it's like the beginning of Elf, then I would have been like, oh, now I get what you mean. But you picked Lord of the Rings, which I've not seen.
You never seen Lord of the Rings?
No.
I should have brought Amy Vorpahl into the show.
Should have replaced me with Amy Vorpahl. Anyway, who are we and what is this show? I'm Matt Manser. Hello.
I'm Dan Bannis.
I'm Toby Muresianu.
Thank you for pronouncing your own last name. I've known you for years, and I probably would have gotten it wrong.
Most people would have.
Yeah.
It's Muresianu. It's spelled with all the vowels.
Sometimes why?
Sometimes, actually, literally my first name, Tobias or Toby, sometimes has a Y in it.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
True.
Yeah.
Do you ever say that on stage? Like, do you have like a way to say it?
It's more of just a thing I've thought about to myself, but I probably could. I probably could turn it into something.
You could say it on a stage.
I feel like that's something like a manager would say, like, why don't you make fun of your name more? Just get that in there, I probably should. It's probably good advice. You just don't think about it because you grow up with it.
But you spend a decent amount of time on stages,
I do. I'm a stand-up comedian.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Sitting down now, though, out of your element.
I know. I wanted to challenge myself with some New Year's resolutions, so I've been trying to sit down several times a day.
It's either that or writing new jokes.
Yeah. No, I just didn't feel like I was getting enough mileage. It was just standing up that was getting me down.
Well, we're happy to have you. I enjoy the jokes of Toby Muresianu.
Thank you.
Did I say it correctly?
And it's within the acceptable margin of error.
Yes, I'll take it.
Muresianu. Is the part that people get tripped up on. It's spelled ESIANU. People say Muresianu a lot.
That's what I always
Which
say.
is the phonetic pronunciation.
Yeah. So it's correct.
You're the one saying it wrong.
You keep messing it. You're up your name.
Anyway.
Let's do the show.
So this is Joke Zero.
Enough phonics talk.
Well, what's
Joke
Zero?
What is Joke Zero? Joke Zero is a show. Do you know what the show is?
So far, I'm caught up. It is a show.
It's a show.
I watched a little bit actually of an episode while I was working today. So
you got paid to watch an episode.
That's true. Well, I probably would have been paid less if they knew I was watching that.
So we tell jokes.
Yes.
But we're looking for ultimately the
platonic ideal of a joke.
We're looking for a joke that, when boiled down to its basic joke elements, could be seen as the joke from which all other jokes sprang.
There we go.
Yeah. It's like setup, punch, Adam, Eve.
Well, if you don't, it's okay. You'll just be on the road too. You'll be like one of the tertiary biblical characters between Adam and Eve and the death and resurrection of all of our Lord. It's a very Christian-based comedy show.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a joke in there about Adam being the first person to bust a rib.
He founded Oh My Ribs Theater.
Yeah, exactly.
Quick plug.
Very local reference.
Most of our audience, I think, is local. But
Omeric's Theater on Santa Monica,
Sure.
where I ran a show for actually several years.
Yeah.
But yeah, the people don't know that it's been around since biblical times. The rest of Los Angeles grew up around it.
Exactly. Well, enough chatter.
Yeah.
Let's do what I call the show.
It involves chatter.
Oh yeah, shoot.
But anyway.
We are gonna keep chattering.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's do the jokes then.
All right.
Mhm.
Who's joking first? Is it me? I'm looking at my phone, so I guess.
You may as well.
Sacha Baron Cohen has a new series on Showtime. The show is called Let's All Pretend It's 2006. Take that.
Yeah, you got him.
Funny guy.
He is
Yeah.
very funny. But then I must say, like, I know the show's been getting mixed reception, I think.
Has it? I loved it.
Oh,
But
really? I haven't seen it.
Well, I guess there's always, criticism, and you could criticize it, but I think overall
It's fun.
was impressed by it.
Yeah. I did see, like, I did notice the one thing I noticed in just like the little spots I saw is like, I was like, the costumes aren't that.
Good.
Yeah.
That's the amazing
I'm
thing is
not
that people
buying
believe
it.
these
Yeah.
costumes because they do look like caked on makeup.
Right, but I feel like they were way better like 10 years ago when he had his like main characters like
Yeah, Borat. And,
the other guys.
LED.
Well, maybe it's because there he's doing like one character, so he can literally have a haircut or grow a mustache. As
Like a
opposed to
big
doing
fat
4
suit.
characters as he does in this series, where he has to transition between all of them, so it's more wigs and makeup and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they weren't great. I will say that. But they still worked. Like people still seemed to totally believe that he was the person he said he was.
Yeah, that's amazing. I always liked him a lot in whatchamacallit, Talladega Nights. I thought he was very underrated performance in that. Like, yeah. Anyway, let's keep going.
All right.
Well, should I tell a joke?
Sure.
We're going to circle.
Yeah. Here we go. Stanford scientists invent a magnet that detects tumor cells and then fastens them to your refrigerator for safekeeping. It's kind of a joke.
Yeah.
Kind of a joke.
I don't get it exactly.
You didn't get it.
Yeah.
These magnets.
Stanford scientists invent a magnet that detects tumor cells.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. I didn't get to the magnet part.
Yeah.
I was distracted because I'm nervous about having to tell a joke next.
I get that.
Yeah.
That's a key part, the magnet part. But yeah, it's a joke.
Someone should explain this joke to the Insane Clown Posse. Remember that song?
Explain to them how this joke works.
The jokes, how do they work? That's what they
It's a
say.
good question.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll probably have a little bit of a different approach. I didn't really have time, I felt like, to write jokes to the amount that I wanted to. But what I do have is my jokes from
Conspiracy
2012 to 2013, which I will write and then never look at again.
Awesome.
And I always feel like I keep meaning to go back because I'm sure there's pearls in here somewhere.
Yeah.
And
Either that or rantings and ravings from the
it is like depressing sometimes when I'll pick up notes and I'll be like, oh my God, I've been mad about that for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
This stupid internet thing or whatever. And I'm like, I just
Just
like,
the internet existing.
yeah, I've had various versions of the same rant that I've been playing in my mind.
But it's funny how like comedians there's a lot of great work I'm sure there, but it looks like a manifesto.
Oh, totally, yeah. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it does look very crazy.
Yeah.
And there's just like nervous affirmation exercises where I write the same mantra over and over again. So that looks super creepy. Let's see. All right, here's a good 2013 joke. A door fell off of U2's plane while I was in flight. I actually found it in my iTunes library. Yeah. Because I don't know if you know, in 2012 era, U2 put their album involuntarily in people's iTunes.
Yeah. How did you feel about that when it happened? Were you like did you put upon and like kind of like?
It was one of those things that I didn't. At first, I was like, people are just complaining. Who cares? It's a free album. Mm-hmm. And then I realized that it was on my phone, and while I was listening, I'd be like, what song is this?
Yeah.
This sucks. And then I was like, oh my God, I have like 15 U2 songs I never wanted that are now like mixed in with my music, which is annoying as hell.
Yeah, that is annoying.
Yeah.
I don't have like an iPhone or a Mac computer. I think it only automatically downloaded on Macs. Mm-hmm. So I went into iTunes. I had to manually download it, which is probably the way they should have done it the whole time. Mm-hmm. But I genuinely enjoyed the album.
Yeah.
But I had to seek it out though, and so I don't have that resentment other people have of being forced to listen to it.
Yeah, maybe if I downloaded it and like really tried to listen to it through. But usually I don't have actually that many songs on my phone because I usually just use Spotify. Yeah. But once in a while I'll end up using it if I can't get an internet connection. So then it means like a pretty significant amount of my songs are U2 songs I've never heard before, and I'll put it on shuffle, and it's just like, I don't want to expose myself to new music now, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Are you a person though that listens to a lot of new music?
I do a lot of like random new Spotify playlists, and then I'll like hear a song. I'm like, I actually like that song, and then I'll click on the artist and listen to more of their stuff. I sort of gave up on like actually curating my own playlists or seeking out new music a while ago, but you know.
I always found finding new music to be like a real burden. Like even when I was young and I was like, shoot, like I'm supposed to like like music at this age and like have opinions about music. And it was like, I have to like figure out what music is. And it's not fun. But now I do, you know. Look, I even have a poster.
White Stripes.
Wow,
they're new.
Yeah, they're
brand new.
They broke up 11 years ago. But my point is, I like some music. So
you like one band that broke up. Nothing else. I feel like that's kind of true, right? You don't like anything else other than White Stripes.
It's not a lot of things I enjoy in life.
It is weird, like realizing now that like the cool indie band that I think I take pride in knowing is now like 15 years old and mass market, or no one cares about it anymore.
Yeah.
But I actually used to be a DJ on the radio. I had a radio show in high school. I was really into going out, finding music and stuff like that. And then at some point, I'm just like, other people care more about this than I do.
Yeah.
I will outsource this responsibility to them and focus on other things.
Did you make jokes and stuff as a DJ?
I did, yeah. That was part of the reason I got into it, because I like doing jokes on the air, and then I realized that I like doing jokes more than actually being on the air. So
and look at you now, a famous shock jock.
And now I write a podcast with no listeners.
I write jokes, and some of these jokes are ones that I've written for radio shows, and some of them have been told on the radio by people who aren't Toby, because he's not on the radio, but other people.
Yeah.
Should I find one that was told on the radio?
Do it.
Well, I don't know. I'll get to one eventually. I think this one was told. On the radio. Tom Jones had to cancel a concert in England earlier this week due to illness. Jones doesn't cancel concerts often, so in this case, it is unusual.
That's good.
Yeah.
That would brighten my commute.
I made $10. That's how much I get paid for a joke.
Yeah, comedy does pay.
Hey, I drove here for an hour and a half to tell these jokes for free.
That's true.
Not bad.
Well.
All right.
No, it's my turn.
It's your turn, yeah.
I thought, never mind. Okay. Oh, here we go. Your baby's cries now could hint at what they'll sound like as adults later, says study. Though, to be fair, the study consisted of one subject, baby Fran Drescher.
I like it.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
They studied Fran Drescher as a baby, and they checked in with her later in life, and you're like, hey.
It's It's like that documentary where they check in every 5 years and film a new movie.
That's right.
But it's just Fran Drescher, and it's just
Fran Drescher up.
Oh.
Anyway.
All right. So a tiger was on the loose near Disneyland Paris in 2012. French police responded immediately and surrendered.
Classic
What they do.
French people. Yeah.
Oh,
The
they're
more
like,
things change, the more they stay the same, because I haven't done that joking for you.
they're like, oh mon dieu. And they're eat a baguette,
No.
wearing a stripy shirt.
But man, those croissants, let's be
Ah.
honest. It's no
Mm.
Oh
joke.
la la,
Ex-
as they say in La
When you
France.
look under the croissant's crust or something.
Like, ooh.
Exactly.
I'm always amazed at how bad croissants are for you. You know,
Oh, are they really
they're
bad?
terrible because they're all butter,
Yeah.
but like literally, because I just think of them like a bagel or croissant.
Mhm.
You know, how am I going to have my egg sandwich? But a croissant, like, you know, half of the fat you need in a day. It's like crazy.
Oh,
They
yeah.
like butter every layer, right?
Yeah.
I was getting really proud of myself because I'm like, as I get older, I find that I just have cravings for like croissants and stuff. And I like the bad stuff. And I thought I was getting to be a good person.
You like healthy?
Yeah. Shoot.
No, you're a
Ah,
bad
well.
person.
Big fat jerk.
They're delicious though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what else? Sure, I'll do this one. Minnesota Republican Congressman Jason Lewis said that he wishes it was still okay to call a woman a slut. In related news, Jason Lewis said his favorite TV character of all time is Sophia from the Golden Girls. He always called Blanche a slut.
Did you?
Yeah,
Wow. That's awesome.
that is when it was okay. I mean,
Yeah.
Sophia's a woman herself, so
Sure.
I guess that makes it okay.
No, yeah,
But
it
anyways,
makes
I
it
watched-
awesome.
Golden Girls reruns, and it's funny, and Sophia just always says, okay, can it, slut, you know? They just slut shame Blanche, but
Yeah.
Blanche owns it. I guess it's
Yeah,
okay.
you know.
Well, she'll never work in this town again.
Uh,
Once those are dug out for it's a new
Yeah.
writing gig.
Hey, Estelle Getty, you've been Me Too.
Time's up. It's still kidding.
Oh no, it's just bad.
Well, oh gosh, here's huge news. Mother of 3 has leg amputated after bite from brown recluse spider.
Ooh.
Remarked the mother of 3. Is the fact that I'm a mother of 3 even remotely pertinent to this story? Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
You're making a commentary on the headline itself.
Well, no, she was.
She
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
You're just reporting
I was
news. You
reporting
didn't write
news.
any of that.
Yeah. That's where I found the joke.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was a joke.
Shoot.
Ah,
I feel like there was someone who was like, "How do I make the story more relatable?" Like, oh, I'm a mother.
A
That could
mother of
happen to
3.
me.
No, I'm sad that she had her leg amputated.
I mean, it could be. I mean, there's probably other things about this woman, right?
Yeah.
Like
She's
worker at a Kmart.
Well,
Yes, if she was.
I would say if I was writing this headline, let's
Yeah.
say, for instance, I was a journalist, you know, hypothetically, I would say, woman has leg amputated after bite from brown recluse. And I would probably just say from spider.
Mm.
Who even knows what a brown recluse spider is? What
It's
a
like a
weird
really bad one.
insectologist.
It's an
Is it?
incel
Is it?
spider. It's a recluse. Got radicalized online.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you wanted to refer to this woman, clearly the most noteworthy aspect is she has one leg.
Yeah.
But then he doesn't. But before she had two, so
One-legged,
previously
right.
two-legged woman.
We don't know how many legs she has.
Oh yeah, she could be going down to 0. I don't know.
It says has leg amputated,
Yeah,
so singular.
maybe she was the mother of 3 legs. I don't
It's
know.
possible.
Mm.
Has anyone ever had 3? Well, I don't want to get into dirty.
There actually, I remember Ripley's Believe It or Not. I remember strongly from my youth had a picture of a man with 3 legs. It was
Yeah.
apparently a soccer race.
Was it what's his name? I can't remember the reference. Anyway, he was that guy It's a basketball player who slept with like 10,000.
Will Chamberlain. Yeah.
There we
I
go.
wasn't sure it was going in that direction.
Whatever. Yeah. Anyway. You.
All right.
Friend.
Let's see. Let's go to the computer. I've got some here there. A rabbi who took on mixed martial arts won his first fight. Observers described his fighting style as orthodox.
That's pretty good. I took Krav Maga classes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever do that?
No, I haven't. I am Jewish, and I have taken martial arts, but never Krav Maga. Never combined the two.
It was
Although I did take
difficult.
jujitsu,
which
is sort of Jewish.
Right. In the jujitsu.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was really brutal.
It was?
It was very exciting. Like, I really enjoyed it. I want to do more, but...
What was it like? What was...
It's like, well, they're like, this is a martial art that's not about, like, bettering yourself. Someone just, like, beating people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. But I had, like, some free passes to do it, so I did it. And yeah, it was fun. I want to do more, but it's, like, expensive to take courses.
Yeah.
And, yeah, but, like... They're like, if you take more classes, look on the wall there. And on the wall there's like guns and like knives, but not real, but like they're like in the mold of a gun or the mold of a knife. So like
you learn how to defend
yourself. How to like pull it away from the person, like beat them with their own gun.
Wow.
Like awesome. I want to learn that. But then I got broke and didn't do it. But yeah, but that'd be cool.
So Dan is vulnerable to guns now.
No, shoot.
Unlike other people who are invincible.
And now everyone's gonna try to shoot me.
Yeah.
You know, they can get away with it.
I'm like, I know his weakness.
Shots fired. Guns.
Exactly.
That was actually my favorite part about Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, I think. They have that one line where they're in a trip and he shoots a guy with a gun and the guy goes, "Bullets, my one weakness."
Yeah. It was an unusual, it was a funnier movie than it could have been, you know, that film. I thought.
Anyway. Well, what else is happening? Sure, I'll do this one. Daryl Hall announced he is making more episodes of his web series Live from Daryl's House. And John Oates is making more episodes of his web series Live from the Backseat of My Car, which is where I sleep. Now, that's not accurate.
No.
John Oates is very successful.
And he's an insomnia.
But, yeah. He stays awake in his car. He doesn't sleep
Exactly.
in there.
Yeah.
No, he's very wealthy and successful. And I'm a fan of both Hall and Oates.
I was listening to Dana Carvey talking on a podcast. This is how far things have gone. I'm going to tell stories from successful comedians. But what he was saying, like when he was doing Regis, like that classic Regis thing where it's like he would mock someone on the morning show, you know, they did Good Morning America, whatever. And
Live Regis.
Yeah, and he'd be like, he'd be like, you know, that Tom Brokaw was at a restaurant. He was being crazy, blah, 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 blah. But Tom's a great guy. And he would, like, really just immediately walk it back. But Anyway. Oh, here's a great news. A new telescope offers clearest view of Milky Way's brilliant center. Mm-hmm. And what did viewers find through the telescope? Nougat. That's pretty good.
I knew it was going to be nougat, but I am not displeased that my expectations were met. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
I had two variations actually of that on that premise. I read the news story. You know.
Did you write it?
I had. Let me see. I don't know if I have them here, but I'll try to go off the top of my head. Let's see. The world's most sensitive telescope was unveiled in South Africa. It's going to be used to look for traces of sexism in blog posts. little political.
Ooh.
Yeah. alternate way. It was let's see, South Africa unveiled a telescope called that was one of the world's most sensitive. Its first discovery was that it looked fat in its mirrors.
That's pretty good.
So, this is the thought process behind the scenes,
That's interesting. That sensitive was the word that you looked at.
It jumped out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
What's your process? How do you
Well, that's a great question. We've talked about that. I don't read the news stories.
Really?
That's my process.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I go through rather rapidly, and I look at the headlines, and I do as much as I can to find a joke based within the headline.
That's smart, actually, because then otherwise you might think of want to
and also
bring too much information into it.
Exactly, and I don't want to overcomplicate it, and also the stories. Things that when I read the headline look absurd to me, because I often find headlines are sort of absurd, will be explained and it'll deflate the humor.
Oh, interesting.
So I keep myself naive, ignorant, and hopefully.
But then sometimes you miss like context that might be helpful.
But then it's interesting because then you guys will be like, that's not how that went at all. And I explain to me the story.
The headline was making a joke in itself sometimes.
Exactly.
What is it? Is it my joke?
Yeah.
Oh, what joke do I want to read? I read Daryl Hall joke. Vin Diesel. Here's something that I've noticed repeatedly on the show, that celebrities continue to have birthdays. Like every week, every day, I would say. It just keeps happening.
There's only like 4 celebrities.
Yeah, well, it makes sense that this celebrity would have a birthday because
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah.
Sacha Baron
Cohen.
The other 3,000 celebrities.
And Vin Diesel. Because Vin Diesel, today actually, he turned 51 years old. Coincidentally, 51 is also the number of words he knows.
He's staying current though. In fact, he just changed his name to Vin Biodiesel.
Oh, thank goodness! In this climate, and this changing climate.
That's what he's concerned about.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's like climate. Trying to do a Vin Diesel. It's gonna wind up sounding like Sylvester Stallone, I think.
Yeah. No one. Very few people do. I think a good Vin Diesel. It's
Taron Killam did one on that.
I didn't want to say that. I was thinking I don't.
That's what you didn't like.
I like Taron Killam a lot, actually, but I'm like, that is like generic tough guy, and I think Vin Diesel has very specific. I'm not good at it, but it's very it's like a weird sort of like, I don't know, like kind of Italian mixed with Brooklyn.
It's like a
subtle.
Oh, hey, I'm Vin Diesel. Forget about it.
Exactly.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Did I do it?
You got it.
Brooklyn.
Well, speaking of all those things, Nest's CEO is stepping down.
What is?
Nest's company. It's a tech company. Nest.
Mm-hmm.
Nest's CEO is stepping down. Explain the CEO. Sooner or later, every CEO faces a day when it's time to spread his wings and exit the company he currently works at.
A little twist there, It's like you're waiting for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My sense of humor. I like to not give people any satisfaction.
Yeah. Well, mission accomplished.
Speaking of mission accomplished, whatever.
You have a George W. Bush joke coming up soon? Anyway.
Maybe you do, right?
I had a one about, let's see. Here's a vintage one. I have a says,
Ooh.
it's not a no joke. President Obama says that if he had a son, he wouldn't want him to play in the NFL, which makes sense because if he was like his dad, he'd get hammered by both sides and make very little progress.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Scathing commentary.
Yeah. That's Washington for you.
No sympathy. Man. It's a tough time.
Well, this joke is admittedly a few weeks old, but I still have it on here. George W. Bush recently celebrated his 72nd birthday. And if he doesn't get what he wants for his birthday, Bush will invade Iraq. That's just what he does as a sort of default.
I would tag. Also, if he does get what he wants, he will invade Iraq. That's a tag.
Birthday accomplished.
Birthday accomplished. Well, heck, Tom Cruise forgot to zip up his fly at Mission Impossible Fallout premiere. Yeah, it was discovered when Tom Cruise fell out. I didn't say that very good. The premiere for Mission Impossible Fallout was discovered when Tom Cruise fell out. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares? Not all jokes are funny,
That's true. Yeah.
It's interesting. There was fallout from that premiere, though.
That's
on a number of levels.
Anyway.
Yeah. This is. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do a joke that is not a topical one-liner.
Cool.
Because this is this is one aspect of looking back at old notes is that you find out that you were always depressed. And in this joke, I say that I'm depressed, but I'm actually optimistic about the world.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, it's all right. Everyone else will be fine.
Oh,
be cheerful.
Yeah, I feel good now.
Big-hearted guy.
Yeah. Well, a big day this past Wednesday because this past Wednesday was the 26th annual ESPY Awards.
Wow.
Ooh.
Right? That's huge day, which is why the Cleveland Browns went to bed early. They are bad at football.
I mean, it's sad when you don't even win an award no one cares about.
Yeah. You gotta win that ESPY.
Yeah. It's like it's not a struggle people are feeling,
Well, yeah. There's one thing I know about athletes, they really care about glitzy award ceremonies.
Yeah.
That's the one thing football players want more than ever, more than anything. The respective entertainment industry.
Which is weird. Oh, sorry.
No, but
it is weird because their whole career was based around competing to win a trophy. And then they have this other way they can compete to win a trophy, but without using their actual abilities.
Right. Very bizarre. Well, is it my turn?
I think so.
Okay. Arizona Cardinals suspends General Manager Steve Keim 5 weeks for extreme DUI.
Ooh.
Remember, kids, never drink and wakeboard. Extreme.
Yeah.
See, I think that was like with the most sensitive thing. It's like you read the headline, and to me, the most sensitive telescope, the most sensitive part jumps out. For you, the extreme jumps out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something to that. See, kids, if you want to write topical jokes for some reason, that's how you
do that.
The CIA revealed it paid torture teachers $80 million. So it turns out that's what teachers have to do to get paid enough.
Wow.
That's true.
That's crazy.
Yeah. You got a good union, I guess.
Oh, that teachers union's always up to something. Wanting to get money for their work. Oh, boy.
Yeah. They'll only torture 35 hours a week.
But what's the class size? So that's for these torture classes. Having more than 30 students in a class, that's torture.
Yeah.
I don't think I did this joke on the last show, but I might have. I think I just tweeted, and that's why it seems familiar to me. Anyway, Black Sabbath bassist Geezer Butler recently celebrated his 69th birthday.
Mhm.
He said he doesn't mind getting older because now it finally makes sense that his name is Geezer. Geezer.
All came together.
Fine, like he's been
Yeah.
waiting.
Yeah.
Yes, he's always been ahead of his time.
Yeah, that's Sabbath for you, man. It's ahead of their time. Geezer.
Yeah.
They have
It's
another
like-
their drummer saying Fogey.
It's kind of like that when a child is born like Esther or something. Or like, it's like, well, that'll make sense when she's like 60. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not now.
Now when she's
Crazy.
a baby. Yeah. Well, heck, how about this news? A study says 40% of people have first memories that are made up. I don't know. That's not what Cindy Crawford told me while on the back of my Tesla Model X back when I was 4 years old. I don't know. Didn't make any sense.
I like it.
No.
It's kind of funny.
It has
I like
to
it.
not make sense.
Yes.
I like it because it's one of those things you know where it's going, but because you top it and make it more ridiculous,
Yeah.
it still ends up being satisfying and funny.
More satisfying than that other one. That stuff. Anyway.
Anyway.
An American who runs tours of North Korea was arrested and sentenced to 15 years hard labor. It's being called the world's most authentic tour of North Korea.
Like the tour continues.
Yeah.
It's all part of the tour. Everyone come in, do some hard labor with me. What else? Oh, I got a Korea joke. I guess I'll try it.
Yeah, go for it.
Wait, do I? A different. Well, now I think I spoiled it because I looked at the punchline.
I just want to mention that joke is actually so old. That guy is now free.
Oh,
He's
man.
recently
Jeez.
free. No one knows. Anyway, sorry.
Well, forget I say a thing about Korea. Although, I mean,
Yeah.
you'll know it's about Korea when I say the first words, probably. But Dennis Rodman, he was in the news. Dennis Rodman, speaking of jokes, he performed very poorly as one of the roasters at last weekend's roast of Bruce Willis. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, Rodman bombed so badly that Kim Jong-un wants to use his jokes to attack South Korea.
Ah! I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did only in the respect that I know Dennis Rodman is a terrible comedian.
Yeah.
Because he's actually been to the Comedy Store a few times.
Really?
We had Roast Battle.
Yeah.
And he's just nuts. Like, he is nuts.
Yeah.
He, at one point, like, at the time, he's been there a couple of times. One time he ran out on his check. And, like, yeah, so there was that. And then the other time he was just super drunk and, like, heckling, but just being incoherent. And,
Yeah.
it's like one of those things where it's funny for, like, everyone's excited for a minute. And then it gets annoying, and then it's funny because everyone's making fun of him, and then it's just annoying again. He's just any drunk, crazy person. You know what I mean?
Man, that's weird. How weird, though, to be like a super famous athlete whose like career is over before they're 40, and then they're like, well, now I'm just a rich guy who wanders the earth.
This will just be an international diplomat.
Yeah, that's true. Gee whiz. Strange world. Speaking of a strange world, U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem to cost nearly 100 times Trump's estimate. Explained Trump. I know the cost got out of hand, but really, where in Jerusalem was I supposed to find an accountant? Kind of funny, you know?
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
That Trump guy. What a dummy.
Has anyone done that angle before? I feel like I might be onto something here.
Yeah. That's the first thing people think of when they think of Trump. Like, oh, he's dumb.
Yeah. Or he's evil. So
What? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That too.
What's he up to lately? Anything? ever since The Apprentice. South Africa is removing a tiny rabbit sculpture built into the ear of a statue of Nelson Mandela. It'll be the first time in history a statue has had a haircut.
Yeah, that's very good.
Next time you should get them all cut. It doesn't make sense unless there's more than one rabbit in there.
That was on Backstory. There was like a sculptor whose signature was like building a little tiny hair into all the sculptures. It was like his little signature.
Wait,
but they removed it. Yeah.
what? I don't understand quite how.
So you know how like painters will like put their autograph like in the bottom right? Well, this guy was a sculptor.
Sure.
Instead of that, he would just like build a tiny little rabbit. It wasn't like visible from the outside, but inside the ear was a little rabbit sculpture. And they didn't want it. So they cut it off.
Like the Mandela hated rabbits.
Yeah.
It's just offensive.
But I heard that I read a story where there was a rabbit they kept in his ear. It was the Mandela effect all over again. Isn't that what that is?
That's that thing where you remember something that didn't happen, like a false memory. Like
yeah, I have heard of that, but
it's a Berenstain Bears, which some people think was Berenstein, which is not correct.
Never was correct. It was just because I'll tell you what happened. I'm gonna settle this once and for all. No one expects the name Berenstain. That's it, you know. But
it is a weird.
It was written in cursive, so people just said it must be Berenstain.
Right, exactly.
I figured out why you and I and maybe other people from the Midwest may know that it's Berenstain and other people may not. It's because Cedar Point had as their characters the Berenstain Bears,
so
and in their commercials they would say, "Come for the roller coasters," and we got the Berenstain Bears. So we heard Berenstain.
Yeah.
And I grew up in a Jewish neighborhood, and I just totally assumed
these bears are Jews. These bears seem pretty Jewish.
They thought they were the Bernstein Bears.
I didn't even think of it as a Jewish name. I was so young. It was just a name that people had.
Yeah.
Sure. That's fun.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, whose joke is it?
Whose joke is it anyway?
I just feel like it's a real stain on their legacy.
It's your joke. Right?
That's my joke? Is it anyway? What joke should I tell? No, I don't think I did this joke before either, but we'll see. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, his new movie Skyscraper opened in a disappointing third place at the box office.
Sad.
Yeah. But only because audiences realize they can see another new Dwayne Johnson movie every week for the rest of the year. Guys, in every movie.
Yeah, what the heck's going on?
He's like the new what's his name?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron. Yeah, no, he's the new that guy Jude Law. Remember that time when he was in every movie?
Yes, I do.
And Chris Rock made a joke about it, I think.
What year was that?
It was like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Yeah.
Kevin Hart, I feel like, has that he's been a guy who's been in everything.
And they're like often in the same movie together, right?
Yeah. Because there's one tall and one small.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
It writes itself.
That's true. That should be their next movie.
Tall and small.
Where I think Dwayne Johnson should be. He plays Chris Small, a detective or something, and Kevin Hart is James Tall, witness or something, right? Oh, you writing this down?
You know, I didn't realize this about Kevin Hart movies. He's actually 6'4", but they position him far away from the camera.
It's like it worked for Peter Jackson.
That's what he says.
Yeah. This is kind of weird. Let's see if this makes sense. Scientist debunks health hoaxes with viral parody video. I haven't watched the video, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's more cute than funny. It's just a personal commentary.
It's more like a stand-up
Let's be
joke.
honest.
That's like, It's funny.
If a scientist is making a viral parody video, I don't think it's gonna be super funny. It's gonna be like, oh, that was nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds right.
That's just my.
No one's like, you know what?
sense.
I think it's so funny. Infotainment. I just can't get enough. Rolling in the aisles.
Mildly amusing
Yeah.
education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Gawker has agreed to pay $115 million in damages for leaking Hulk Hogan's sex tape. The money will be divided up among everyone who watched it.
The real victims.
Yes.
What should we do? Like one more each or something? Or I feel like
Sure.
we're getting. I feel like I'm getting down to the ones I don't want to tell.
I've realized that, like, I write about serious topics, and it really makes it depressing. Like, I'm like, oh, here's my material on Charlie Hebdo.
Yeah.
Mike Brown. I don't know.
I tend to like the depressing jokes in general, but it is challenging when you're doing, especially if they're stand-up based. Especially, I like depressing two-liners. It's the juxtaposition,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, here's a new study. Women who have given birth 5 or more times may be 70% more likely to develop Alzheimer's later in life. On the bright side, this means they'll eventually forget about having to give birth 5 or more times. That's probably not fun.
Yeah, goodness.
On the bright side, they could forget their leg was bitten off by an alligator. Or no, it was a spider.
Spider.
Recluse.
Can't be that reclusive if it's going around biting people.
It didn't bite off because its eyes were a little bigger than its stomach.
I'll do this one because in the spirit of the season of doing Alzheimer's jokes. Shocking report from the Economic Times. New study finds radiation from mobile phones can affect memory. Shocking report from the Economic Times. That only works. I wish I should have done it like this. If I was one of you guys, I should have given this joke to you. Shocking report from the Economic Times. New study finds radiation from mobile phones that can affect memory. Shocking report from the Economic Times. New study finds radiation from mobile phones can affect memory. And then maybe you do it.
I think you keep going.
Yeah.
And then you wait a couple jokes and you do it again.
Do it again.
Yeah.
It's funny. If
You get how that would go
Yeah.
if you had done it like that.
On that occasion, I'll do our show's first Alzheimer's joke.
Awesome.
Man.
Yeah, it's meta.
Very
Meta.
fun stuff.
Let's see. A recent poll shows Hillary with a double-digit lead on Trump.
Well, it's over now.
I just wrote this. A recent poll shows Hillary with a double-digit lead on Trump. What's more surprising is both those digits are the middle ones.
Oh,
Nice.
now it's sad.
No.
Funny.
Yeah.
Well, now we nominate one of our own jokes as joke 0 because it's hard to remember other people's jokes.
Oh, that's a good point.
So
That's so real and yet, cynical in a way. We're also narcissistic.
we're very narcissistic, but I mean, once it's nominated, then we're gonna shortly do a show where we do all the nominated jokes.
Ah,
Yeah.
And then eventually we'll get to the final.
so it's like a battle royale.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think I'm going to nominate this joke. Your baby's cries now could hint at what they'll sound like as adults later, says study. Though to be fair, the study consisted of one subject, baby Fran Drescher. It's a little bit confusing, but it's kind of funny to me.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
I'll nominate Tom Jones had a cancel concert in England earlier this week due to illness. Jones doesn't cancel concerts often, so in this case, it is unusual.
Yeah,
Mm.
nice and concise.
Nice and
Yeah.
concise.
Yeah.
I've forgotten my own jokes. I feel like to some
See,
extent
it's challenging.
it is challenging. I'm going to nominate the CIA revealed it paid torture teachers $80 million. So it turns out that's what teachers have to do to get paid enough. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah,
You know?
we did it. We didn't do it, but we did a show.
We did it.
We may have found Joke Zero. One of these jokes
Oh,
could
Oh,
be
yeah,
a Joke Zero,
easily. Yeah.
but we don't know yet.
Not yet.
We have to really, we make jokes about studies, but we have to study and research ourselves on the nominated jokes. And
Yeah.
We have to trace the DNA of the jokes. you
Yeah,
know,
Right.
and,
Now
you
we
know,
have all this technology.
find out who's the father.
Now with CRISPR and everything,
Yeah.
we'll be able to get to the root.
Yeah.
Well, heck, folks, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Our
Man, my pleasure. Thanks for
wonderful
having me.
guest. Do you want to plug you've got shows?
Yeah, I do. I run a podcast called Up Close and Political, which you can find on iTunes and all those good stuff, or at our website, upcloseandpoliticalshow.com. Yeah, stuff like that. It's kind of evergreen.
Yeah, seriously. Very good stuff. Yeah, check out his shows. They're good. Check out our show. It's pretty
Check
good.
out Joke Zero.
Yeah, and we'll see you on the next show.
Bye.
All right.
I should really pitch the show. Just thought of that.